what the operator bans are. Of course, you could even ban Ashe because, you know, they both play pretty good Ashe. Wouldn't be a bad idea if you don't have something else you have to ban against them. What will it be? What will it be?
I was trying to summon it.
I know, I saw that.
Summoning circle.
It kind of worked, you know, just took a few tries, right? You had to say the right words in your head. Cafe already auto-banned, so not going to see that. Coastlines will.
Would the Magic board be saving strats?
Not for these two teams.
No,
There's nothing to save here at this point other than points. Villa will be. Ooh, another map that neither of these teams have played this season.
Yeah, but both Ashe and Jackal would be great on this map. I just hope we don't see the same mistakes that we see on LATAM, which is, hey, we are going to continue to play with one Heart Breacher and forget about anything else because Thatcher was banned. It's like...
No, that's LATAM only. That's a LATAM thing. That's I don't see the other regions doing that at all. This actually hasn't been as much played of a map as I would have thought for Europe too when I was looking back through it. It's only been played a little bit, which is why these two teams have never played it. Same with Bank.
Right now I think in this season is that you have Cafe.
Yeah, it's really dominating things.
So I think because it's Cafe, I mean Navi have played Cafe like every other week.
Yeah, well, because they can't.
Whenever they could,
they could literally only play it every other week. Yeah. So.
What do you guys think?
Well,
I guess it would be pretty close.
I want to see how high the drop percentage is. At least it's double digits, but a lot of people favoring Penta. Chaos just not been doing great.
I mean, Penta either.
I know. As someone was asking me why my prediction, like the public caster predictions, I predicted Penta. And I said that I wasn't expecting Penta to play so much better. I just felt like they were going to play a little bit less worse than Chaos have been. But at the same time, both these teams know that. They've been, I got to imagine, scrutinizing their own performance, looking for ways to improve it. They just haven't been able to do so a ton yet, other than, like, some Penta has been to an extent. I feel like operator bans, though, will make a difference here. Jackal is banned somewhat frequently on this map, so we could see that come out. Nomad or Gridlock as well. I could see Thermite. That's probably not the best use of a ban, just because unless a specific strategy.
It's Villa. Thermite ban is fine.
But there's so many other better operators to ban.
I mean,
Lion? Okay, well I take back what I said about Thermite. That was even less. All right.
Lion questionable, Thermite fine. Okay, let's not judge Thermite ban. He's a good operator. Okay, Clash ban against Penta is kind of normal. They're pretty good at it, but Chaos also are.
Yeah, both of them now can't use it, so it works both ways. I mean, I almost wish they'd ban like a Monty or a Blitz too, you know, just to make sure that no shield.
Ban the Monty. Oh, that would actually be great.
We used to see Chaos really running just rampant with that Monty.
Unfortunately, you can't do that anymore. So.
Yeah, that's true. The nerfs helped a little bit with that.
They already banned the 2 attackers, Devin.
No, I know, but I just mean like the nerfs also helping with it, not necessarily it being as dominant in play. So changes to ADS time and things like that. Although that affected Blitz more than Monty, I think.
Yeah, that's true.
But either way, Echo and Maestro both available. Gonna see them played, I imagine.
Yeah.
Just taking the Ashe again, yep.
I would expect so. We are going to Trophy Statuary first, which is not usually the first site you go to, but it's still obviously it's second most viable site, I want to say. I mean,
it's definitely not as good as people would like to be. I almost feel like the win rate might be higher on Kitchen at this point than Trophy.
Really?
Like I said, I don't have stats to back that up, and the sample size would probably be too small anyways for how often Kitchen's played. But I just feel like Trophy is lost a bit more than it's won. But I don't know. I'd have to, like I said, I'd have to look at the stats on that to really back that up. I could be completely way off.
Splack.
Aviator Games, however, I do think is doing pretty good for teams. So it is surprising to see a team want to go Trophy first. I mean, we used to talk a lot about playing secondary sites first, so just in case you lose them, you go to your primary site and stuff. I don't feel like teams do that as much as they used to. A lot of teams now just go to their primary, although, as Canadian was saying the other day, you know, sometimes they do the mind games or starting off on sites that aren't necessarily, they're secondary, but are, you know, ones that they're unexpected to play. Just throw them off a little bit of mind games, as he said. Quote Troy. The Nomad definitely going to be great on here, especially with no Jackal ban, which they could have also gone with playing. Would have been pretty good. Maverick, definitely very useful on this, especially with the Thermite ban. They could also bring the Hibana, which is a good choice, but I think they're relying a bit on this Maverick. I do wonder, though, are they planning for attacking Trophy Statue with just the Maverick? It's going to be a little tricky. I'll make sure you can open up some of the walls if you need to, but at least this way they can open up angles, potentially even an angle into astronomy if they need to, from either the bathroom side or the wall there, facing into a statue or trophy. Secretly looking to clear the bottom floor. This is where you definitely wish you had the Jackal. He plays a lot of Buck, though, and pretty good at it, so see what he can do with that. But he needs to not die on this, because, of course, he can provide some pressure from below. Not a ton, there's limited spots, though.
Located a bomb.
Vito looking for any Echo drones or anything that he might have to worry about, and there is none. No black eyes around there either. Crip's looking like he's actually going to back up his teammate secretly downstairs. Renewal's just opening up a few poke holes, make him guess here. And this Bandit not being able to do a whole lot. This looks like we're actually going to get a Maverick tricking here. They do have the Buck to be able to help with that. But of course he is downstairs at the moment. So.
Oh, they're going to burn it off?
Yeah, just go Maverick trick it. Maverick tricking definitely one of my favorite additions to the game that is unintentional.
Yeah, so by the way, what it means is when the Maverick burns off every bit of the reinforcement, this is what happens.
Yeah, it was one of those things people discovered and then just were like, wow, now this is a thing in the game that's pretty consistently happening.
Oh,
ooh, see, that's what I was worried about, him playing downstairs alone.
Janix, or Janix, I'm going to have to kind of rewire that as well. Janix comes around from below and
there's too many players and Finnish players with like J's at the beginning of their names.
He's Latvian, so it might be similar, but hey, who knows? It's the way it is. Vito will find Hungry, eliminating the smoke off of the site. It's a 1-to-1 trade equilibrium when it comes to operator intensity and power, but the site is pretty much clear. Vito is uncontested. Enemy gets taken out as well. I'm not sure what's happening here with Penta. The blast finally comes up, but Vito is already in. He's been here for the past minute. And he finds a third kill. Janix is the last man alive, has to rotate from Sanctuary. Renewal is going in for the plant, and he's too far away. There's no nitro cell left.
Attackers are activating the bomb.
Come around from the side. Assume at this point, haven't heard or spotted Janix coming around. And just crouch walking everywhere. He gets a couple bullets.
Trap.
The last one to hit him. In the body, the ARX-200 played here by Redgroove. And man, you got it all. Beautifully played from Chaos in this.
Beautifully played from Vito. Vito, whatever.
They opened. Woo, man, they took bed very quickly. They Maverick tricked the wall, and then Astronomy was free.
Yeah, that's the big question mark right there. Is letting Astronomy free like that, and then the coverage from both Redgroove and Vitolen. It was just you weren't able to do much to retake it without holding inside Astronomy. You really can't defend the site very well. It's too difficult to be able to push it because you have to push from bottlenecks. It's not like as a defender you can rappel up that central skylight or anything like that to sneak up. You got to come in through doorways, which can be covered very easily, and the stairs is your only other option. So overall, just a great take by Chaos. Penta just seemed ill-prepared for. They're going to try Trophy. No, they switch off last minute, of course. Should I say that? So they're going to go Aviator Games, which is, I think, the better choice here. See Janix and Enemy with the only 2 kills for their team, and Vito with 3 for his. Pretty good. Interesting deployable shield there, so they can play a bit more inside the site to peek into the study doorway without being as exposed to behind, and also being able to peek down that long angle between Janix and Enemy there. Definitely one that you will see attackers come from, because they can come from the master bedroom, as you always say, to take from, and then those red stairs as well, they can come up. So definitely something you've got to watch out for. So I like the deployable shield there, especially since people will often try to rush to get behind that vault door. Having the shield there does slow them down a little bit in that regard, especially when you're trying to defend it, so they cannot make that rush in. They do have the Nomads, though, to be able to hold some of the area up there. Like, for example, if they're able to get control of a bit of it, they can also stop rotations back into the site from the few areas that you can rotate back in. So if they're able to get in with that Nomad and play, definitely going to be really hard for a retake from Penta. So definitely going to be looking to keep them locked out of the site as long as possible. Secretly, I wonder if he's going to go from below again. A little bit more effective in this side, I think, to go from below with the Buck than on Trophy. But it looks like, yeah, that is secretly going to be downstairs. Was not very effective on that last round in terms of getting picked off fairly easily. I really think if he's going to be playing downstairs a lot, he might just be better off with the Jackal, because if he dies early, it doesn't matter what operator you're playing, but if you're able to get some, at least intel on where they're playing at.
It's a good hole opened up here by Penta, and the Jaeger is watching. So,
I mean, Jackal has the ITA. You really don't need the Buck. Just play Jackal, really. If you're just not good at it, then, well, that's a bummer. But if you're trying to play ranked, I can understand why you never get to play Jackal.
Crips coming up and spot the goo mine that is swiftly destroyed here. So enemy setup has been definitely reduced in terms of effectiveness. The wall is already half opened thanks to renewals, and this is what we were talking about. Kix and I were just screaming this at the top of our lungs when Latam was playing, like, for the love of God, use the operator.
Open it up.
Chaos remind everybody that this actually works. It's there. You need to use it. Ash Charge in the back will do no damage. It secretly actually trades off against a blast. It's that buck being lost. Ravon with a shotgun clears off renewals, and Yanix will find another onto Grips. Janix again. Righto. Close on the cross, but there's a shotgun waiting right for him to peek.
Oh.
And there you go. Ravon collects yet another kill. Last alive is Red Groove, as the site is definitely held here by Penta. Got the ARX. A lot of damage can be put down range using this rifle, but a lot of times it's the ammo that kind of plays it, and the smoke will go as Janix will find one more kill. He's playing by the pool table. Difficult angle to hit.
So much better of a defense on that site than Trophy. Big part of that, of course, was that Chaos opened up the wall. And the fact that they had that, they didn't play the fact that they did that early enough to take their time at that point. They pushed into too many angles, exposed themselves to too many players from Penta, just unnecessarily. They really didn't need to overdo that. They could have just droned a little bit better, played more careful, tried to use some utility to their advantage. But instead, it was just, we got the wall open, let's start pushing right into bullets. I mean, you saw even the shotgun play around the corner able to hold that off. That hole itself just became a death trap for them. We'll see how they play against Dining, though. So saying earlier that Trophy might be worse than Dining. This will be the test right here. See if Chaos can defend it, as they did defend poorly on Trophy. They are going with pretty much the same lineup they've been going with, though. Same with the attack. This is where I feel like the Nomad can especially come into play, too, in terms of there's a lot of rotations around Dining, just around the area. You really want to cut those off as soon as possible. Like, say, for example, someone coming back up from Wine Cellar through Pantry. You take control of Kitchen through that side. You can set up an air jab. No one can safely rotate up those stairs again. There's no way for them to do it unless they can find an angle or hit with like an impact on it or something that they know, but then that gives their push away. So it is very useful, I think, on this particular bomb site, but that's assuming they get control enough to be in those positions.
Yeah, holding these central red stairs and the back as well by astronomy stairs, it's just so much easier when running the Nomad. That's why you see the operator band so much on this map, right? Usually that's what you would expect. And what you would definitely expect from Chaos is just holding on to bedroom. Instantly, that will be the first point of entry that you'll see from them. As they go up on the rappel, and drones will be coming in. Vito scanning around for any utility that has been pre-placed, anything that would stop their drones, goo mines, whatever it may be. They're going to have quite a bit of safety, I guess, entering bedroom. Not sure if anybody's going to challenge in statuary or in astronomy.
Doesn't look like a lot of top floor presence. I see one player on defense.
Aviator.
That's it. Just him, as far as I can tell.
Okay, well, that's clear, and you have the buck. Great.
Yeah. Assuming Secretly can live long enough to do something with it.
Great camera positioning there, but it will be lost. And Vito will try to snipe out any electronics from the top floor. Nitro Cell has been used, and to no avail. Nobody's on the other end to respond. There's still one more in the back pocket of Ravon. Janix has lost his. Ash Shards will open up the entryway into the gallery. But things slow down. Chaos have a big map control advantage. They just want to make sure that they can find an entry or two, and then that site, which should be clear.
Yeah, they had some map control advantage last round too, but kind of threw that away, unfortunately.
There you go. You want to open up the look down into the kitchen, and in case there's anybody that's going to play close to the reinforcement.
A lot of peak angles coming out here. You saw Mozzie setting up some holes earlier as well. They're just playing like they did last round, just playing smart towards sight, not overexposing themselves, forcing Chaos to either get a little frantic or burn time, as they're not finding any free angles. This is very smart by Penta to play this way right now.
There's some shields to protect them. It's only a matter of time while you get more exposed. Crips getting up close, but Plas is so near to the staircase, and he finds the kill off of the rotation and a goo mine as well thrown right at the bottom of the stairs. Big kill here that should slow down Chaos, as Hungry's low on HP as well. The smoke has taken quite a bit of damage, and at 30 seconds just now, the Maverick is trying to do that trick we talked about before. It might be a bit too little too late.
Yeah, there hasn't been a lot of kills, but there's just 20 seconds left to make this push.
The Maverick is still trying to go for this play, and Vito again runs right into Blast. That's a double kill, 10 seconds left. Dive onto the site, but there's already goo mines everywhere. Smoke as well, enemy with 1, 2, and Ravon for the last. Flawless from Penta Sports on round 3.
Just kind of a repeat of the last round in terms of pushing into site being a death trap. This case, though, they did slow down smartly, but Penta played even smarter and just avoiding, as you talked about, the top-down control, the Buck being able to do things with that in terms of like opening up a ton of the floor. But I think Penta were prepared for that. They played in so many spots where they weren't getting exposed. There was some exposure, and Vitali unfortunately missing his shots onto, I think, the smoke it was. Really not great. Definitely tried, though, but those bars can really get in your way. Could you imagine, though, what this game would be like if they didn't have bars in the floor? Top-down vertical play would just be insane in terms of the enables. You see how it is through a hatch, for example. It's definitely a good thing those are there to kind of make things a little less uncertain when it comes to that vertical play. Of course, that does work, as we've talked about both ways. And then we can sneak in the Echo, this time to try and make Trophy a little more doable. This was the only site they struggled in, and now, point proven, Milos, dining better than Trophy.
I mean, you were talking about sample sizes, okay?
Okay, wait to turn that back around. That's it. That's all I needed, okay? I said this is going to be the test, and it's done. Test over. Put your pencils down.
Are you sure you graduated from university?
I never said that. That would be untrue.
Fair. It definitely seems like something that did not involve research.
That's true. And that's why I always use that caveat, that I don't know what I'm talking about, but here's my opinion.
It seems like you can join many other people.
Fox News, for example.
Fair enough. Or, anything anti-vax, as Parker was talking about it very recently. We miss you, Parker.
Yeah.
But hey, actually, since we're on the subject, Entero is away for a bit.
Special guest tonight.
He's fine, but we will have special guests over the next few weeks. We're happy to announce that the U.S. Nationals casters will be joining us in filling Entero's very small shoes.
Yeah, so some casters we haven't seen on here before.
Blue, Veli, and Stokes.
I don't think Blues has ever been on this desk.
No, never.
So
he has taken a picture with him next to the desk to flaunt.
It's as close as it gets.
That's it.
Yeah.
Well, we're gonna have him on tonight with Kickstar and Veli later on in the week, and Stokes once he's back from the U.S. Of course, he built that very new streaming setup, and it's like, wow, this is gonna be great when you're in Poland.
Oh, sneaky. He's getting peeked out.
And yet, Janix is on the floor.
Yeah, that was definitely not the play there. Great spotting that with the drone. Oh, yeah, Echo Drone not stopping that kill as well. Crips also fighting it. Again, looking like Dining is better than Trophy, as so far been very good round for Chaos, who definitely know much better how to attack this. Secretly, though, staying alive a little bit longer this time.
Just don't listen to this man.
Got control of Astronomy now, finally.
The blast comes around. Yeah, as you said, the Ash is going to be taken out. Hungry is going to get his revenge on Crips. He's looking down in case he can find Secretly's Buck.
I like that angle.
It was all preset by the defense to support the Valkyrie downstairs. Saw the Yokai drone as well that was in it.
Yeah, wasn't enough.
Renault's is just taking his sweet time here, destroying everything. That's why the Maverick is such a huge operator. So Penta banning the Thermite effectively doesn't do as much as expected. Blast will dive down and he finds the Buck, who's so busy. Look it up, he doesn't look back. It secretly is taken away. There's a shield here in Astronomy, and it is being used by a player in the back. I would assume that that's the Echo.
Yeah, there we go, air jab it.
Oh, Renault's gets it, and he can delete that shield with a single flick of his torch. The site is wide on open as the Jaeger has rotated back up, but he's on the opposite end as he came in from the red stairs. Hungry will find one kill, and the shotgun is already out. It takes so much damage, but it doesn't matter. Penta Sports secure the round. Chaos throw the lead.
I take back what I said. Throwing definitely.
Oh, now.
Hey, I didn't account for Chaos throwing that round. They were doing so
Admit
well.
defeat. Put that ego away.
No, that's Chaos's job right now, to admit defeat. That was terrible execution towards the end there. They had a lot of control. They let Astronomy get retaken and then retook it back, but then double peeked the same angle onto the Jaeger, first missing his shot and then leaving it to the Maverick, then peeking around on the shotgun. You saw the shotgun there and still pushed it. You're not going to win that fight, even pre-firing. All he has to do is click once. You saw where the shotgun was pointed. It's not like it was pointed in another direction. Just desperation at that point, and it just looked like desperate play after desperate play from Chaos. They did need to do that. Losing the buck, yeah, that was unfortunate. Took a little bit of pressure off, but they just really didn't need to be pushing in angles. And that's where Penta are winning these. Just keep pushing into their angles. We need to see something different from Chaos in terms of how they're using their utility or something. Here's a tip for you guys. Capital's not banned for once.
That's actually true.
You're not bringing Capital. You're not bringing Jackal. You're not bringing two things that are not banned that are very good on this map.
Oh man, who posted that tweet? Seems like a very smart guy. Also, I would like to add something to this because...
We do not need your opinion twice at the same time in a broadcast. What is going on here?
Because I fear some people might have taken it out of context. I want to clarify this to the boys of Giants Gaming and any of their fans that kind of mistook it. There's no offense meant with that tweet mentioning land performance.
I think you're the worst.
I'm just genuinely prepared for the team to qualify for Japan. And deep land performance is definitely the next step for Giants. That's a reality. And there's no question about it being an eventuality.
Corey already regrets talking to you.
Corey regrets doing anything with me.
I know that feeling. There's his response. Yeah, you played so terrible, Corey.
I was sleeping.
Either way, that was the previous match here. So far, Penta running away with this one on defense, although pretty defensive-sided map.
It's defense.
So
you get 4 rounds on defense, that's okay, but it's in the way that they wanted. Chaos throw that round away.
They just keep pushing into their bullets.
God.
Like, look, they're not really contesting your map control too much other than downstairs on Secretly, which enemy's looking to get a kill on soon.
Vital finds Janix in the hallway solo. Is there anybody that knows about the Legion's position here? Because
I doubt it.
There has to be someone watching him.
What if you had the Jackal? Then you would know.
No, man.
Drone is going to hear him at the very least and spot him. It's now position known, but the drone being dead means now that information is also dead as he's rotating around. Crips hoping to anticipate that onto Mudroom here. Not going to find it. Secretly looking, where do I open up?
What do?
So far, he hasn't been hugely effective on this Buck. Again, I still feel like Jackal will be much better play. He's played a lot of Buck throughout his history, though, so I guess if you're comfortable with it. But I don't know, just on this map in particular, it's not really doing a whole lot for him.
There's the mute jammer that's been found. That was what he was looking for that whole time. So if you're wondering, yes.
Mission accomplished.
Mission accomplished, and not, definitely not in the bushway.
It's only so that they can finally open up walls so they can get shot through them.
Well, not when you open up the feet, I guess.
I don't know. They can go prone in sight, too.
So, is enemy still downstairs, though? And definitely, you can use the Buck to push the player out of that indestructible bar. So you have the bar, and also a second mute jammer that's blocking the X-Kairos. It's just mute jammers positioned perfectly here. Secretly finds Blast.
There we go.
That's one. But where's enemy?
He's hiding.
He's rotating up. He rotated up, and he might be able to find the Buck here. Should be a free kill. Grenade comes out, but it misses the target. And enemy finds the kill on Secretly. But in the meantime, it's Crips to find Hungry. The site should be open here for Chaos to enter, and they will indeed find one. But enemies already ran right into Aviator. He turns around, and
oh, no.
There's the trap perfectly laid in Chaos. Secure their second round. That's really the minimum that they were looking for here on the attack. So
yeah, much of a round. They definitely were playing a little bit smarter that time, playing a little more carefully around the site. Secretly also getting a kill instead of being killed first was definitely good, but then getting traded on the stairs, not great. But the way that they were able to actually isolate a lot of the site players, like I said, opening the walls and the feet, taking out the mute jammer, it did work out for them that time. They were able to actually get enough angles against Penta instead of the other way around. Finally working out for them. But Dining, we will go again. We'll see what the track record ends up being with a slightly larger sample size. Still good place from Penta overall. Just didn't work out for them that round. I do see this likely being a 4-2. As you said, that's not too bad for either team. It's kind of what you're expecting to an extent. But they've got to pull it off. Renewal sneaking from Maverick to Maverick unexpectedly. Should be good.
Attackers need to locate.
Nothing really too crazy here. Pretty much the same we've been seeing from both teams for the most part. Just looking to see if they can edge out an advantage on either side. 3-3 would be pretty good for Chaos if they could pull it off. It's easier said than done. Dining, though, did work out last time. And so far, Aviator's been 1 for 2. Trophy also been 1 for 2, so technically, Dining's their statistically best site now. 100% win rate. The other two are 50-50.
10 seconds left.
And that's why small sample sizes are terrible.
Mathematics.
It just sure is. Poorly done mathematics. None of it really adds up.
Attackers must locate.
Wonder if secretly we'll go downstairs and try and clear out again. Or upstairs, I mean, rather. Off-site. They did pretty good on opening up the floor last time. They just weren't able to do anything with that. So I'd like to see what Chaos are going to adjust about that to try and catch members of Penta. Just kind of like they did on that last attack on the Aviator. Just a little bit smarter play, a little bit better at baiting some of the Penta members into better angles or using utility to help them get there. Going to have to maybe use their grenades a little bit more effectively, for one thing. Air jabs, though, are a little bit useful in terms of getting... If you can get them in the right position, they can't do anything to stop it in terms of shooting them or anything like that. We saw that air jab work last time. Nice.
That's a rare angle.
Yeah, it's an interesting one. It seemed to work okay in terms of like pre-firing it, but didn't happen to hit him.
So Janix is playing downstairs still. Everything's being scanned around here by Vito, and he will find the default cams and take them out. He's standing here and droning on top of the desk. It makes sure that any nitros from below won't take him out, in case there's any information that Penta are playing off of. And look down. Is there any utility? Any cameras, any glue mines that you can spot, anything you can find will make it easier once you get to the site. And Renault's, this time, not wasting too much time coming in. You need to start working in that wall. The problem is, the instant that the wall is open, you are so exposed.
Yeah, it's not exactly a huge area to play with in terms of angles. Absolutely can work against you. Hungry, though, taking out Crips early. Something that happened last time as well, if I recall correctly, was Crips was the first to go on this particular site. So not a big deal, but they weren't able to win it without him, so certainly isn't going to help, especially since, again, Penta are not playing against in unadvantageous angles. It's a weird word to say. And with less than a minute left and them having the man advantage now, looking pretty good for Penta to win this a second time, if they can keep it up. However, there's still some utility, but a lot of that utility is like anti-retake or anti-flank in terms of claymores and air jabs. And I don't think those breach charges are going to do any good for Vitalik at the moment.
Definitely not. The claymore from Renault's is not going to do much yet, as you mentioned. Secretly, we'll find enemy. It's an entrance now, but it's an entry at the 30-second mark. So you spot one player. Oh, that's a beautiful spot for a camera. That's why there was nobody moving out. Hungry will find one more, as well as Blas. And Vito is the last man alive. He's going to get back. Valkyrie in a great position to welcome him. And the half ends 4-2 for Penta. Definitely, I want to say, expected way to end the half, usually on Villa.
Yep. Well, Dining now 2 for 2. 100% still. So there you go. It's the best. We'll see, though, on the side switch. I got to imagine we might see Dining here from Chaos, assuming they win their defenses. If they don't win any defenses, they can stay upstairs as long as they'd like. But that won't be very long, because that would just be 3 rounds maximum before they would lose. So Chaos looking at a bit of a disadvantage points-wise, but as you said, to be expected, giving the defensive-sidedness of this map sometimes. That being said, there has been matches where it's been entirely attack-sided, too. Mm-hmm. It does happen occasionally, depending on how the predictability of the defenses go and whether or not they overplay sometimes their man advantages and things like that. Not going to start on Trophy, though, for Chaos. They are going to go with the more reliable Aviator. wasn't any more reliable necessarily for Penta, but generally overall a more reliable site. Talking about Blast's opening kills earlier, he's still also the top fragger on the team. 6 kills. They are going to a somewhat similar lineup in terms of the Nomad and the Ashe being brought, but a bit different utility on this other side of that. Instead of the Maverick, we're going to see the Hibana and the Zofia together here, along with the Thatcher to help open up things. We did see a little bit of Hibana play, though, from Chaos, but the Maverick, I think, was a bit more crucial to a lot of those things being opened. And honestly, I mean, I agree with the Maverick play sometimes over the Hibana play on this particular map, just because it's almost all horizontal uses where you can do the Maverick tricking, open up the angles you need to. Because a lot of times the Hibana is not going to be opened up or using things to open up for walking through. It's more so for angles. And you can do that just fine with Maverick to an extent. And then it can't be tricked or anything like that. Electrification doesn't matter. So I would say overall, I personally would favor the Maverick over the Hibana. Plus, he's also got a really good gun that, I mean, arguably the Type 89 very good as well. But I feel like Maverick's gun is a little bit better. But that's up to personal preference. And also the utility play and things like that. So we'll see how things go for Penta in that regard. But Ravon, again, taking over the Ashe instead of Blast. I still think Blast was the better Ashe player. Ravon had a pretty mixed bag on it last time they played.
Ooh. Ow, that's such a... Oh, you would not...
Ow, that was like painful to you.
No. That it's like, it's exciting. Oh, now finally break it open.
Yeah, he was definitely hoping to catch someone without breaking the glass, so it would be audible.
So Hungry will come in from below. The Goo Mine will hold him for just a moment. But this forces Red Groove back, and he's taking a decent chunk of damage. That is so much here. But the sites are further away. Like you're not attacking here into Statuary. You're pushing into Aviator Game Room. So burning as much time off of Penta is always great, and as much damage that you can do, even with just Goo Mines, is just great.
Just great.
Oh, the ADS placed right under the Maestro Cam.
Well done.
Moves the breaching round.
That's why you got to catch that stuff early.
They just did some damage to Hungry, I assume. They didn't really take out any more. I don't know if Hungry still has any more impacts left on the Zofia. And no, he does not. So that Maestro Camera could have survived there for quite a bit longer. That said, Yannick's throwing an EMP down into 90 as it has been evacuated. There's pressure from enemy, at least there was some pressure from enemy. And it's just going to have to peel off for a moment. Second Maestro Camera has been spotted. EMP will be thrown in the back, and it will hit. So now both the Maestro and his Evil Eyes are both down. Huge pick here for Penta Sports on the entry, and they look very much poised here to take the round.
They're also not bringing the IQ to spot a lot of that stuff, but there's not really being the Echo or anything played by Chaos yet. They probably should play that if the IQ is not going to get run.
Crips will find 1 kill here on Blast. Slow things down, but Ravon comes in from behind. Chaos are so focused on the entry from 90 that Penta guessed the exact time here for the rotation. Hungry down on the floor with a smoke right in front. Janix is taking a lot of damage on the Thatcher. Ravon goes in, he finds one, but Crips ducking and diving. Janix still thrown back. Bit more enemy taking a bit of damage on his Hibana as he is the diffuser carrier. Goes in for the plant. It's right behind the indestructible bar. Ravon will go for one, and Janix low on HP will find the second. The round won by Penta as it seemed like Chaos were at the helm. Try to bring it back. And Penta, though, they just send in the hammer.
Well done by Penta. Now, that brings them to a lead. We were talking about how defensive-sided it is. Now, most of the time you can only win 2 rounds, but the thing is, if Penta win their 2 rounds first, they set up to guarantee that 1 point. And that's really the advantage to have, is if they're only going to win 2 rounds, win them early. And of course, I mean, obviously you want to win every round, but great attack from Penta in terms of executing at the end and getting enough of those kills. We'll see how they do on Trophy, though. This is going to be the tricky part here, because they're going from the better bomb site to the worst bomb site, making it potentially more likely for Penta to get to that 6 first, guarantee that point. Still could see a draw, of course, even at that match point. But when you're at 6-2, it's much more likely that you close it out before the other team could come back. So looking pretty good for Penta overall. Janix definitely doing some work on that Blast, and Ravon also looking pretty strong. Red Groove, definitely someone who comes alive. Not so much this match. He's 1-5. Not looking so great, unfortunately. Crimson secretly trying to bring up a few as well, but overall, Kill-wise, Chaos not doing that great compared to Penta. That's part of the reason why Penta is 3 points ahead. It is again surprising though that the utility being brought out from Penta in terms of no one taking advantage of the Jackal or the Captau being, available. We are going to see the Kaed for once here on this map. You mentioned earlier it is something you can use, and they are finally going to bring that out, which it is good on this particular site to some extent to be able to cover these walls, but you're still going to need 2 to try and cover that wall if you wanted to, unless you wanted to leave 1 available. And so that is the bummer part. You're almost better off with the batteries or mute jammer, but they have mute jammers, so they can use those instead. They could go with mute jamming and then keep the electric claws as a backup when they know which side could potentially get opened up. But it is just the Hibana, and so that will be telegraphed a bit better than a Maverick, so definitely something they can play into here. We'll see if Ravon could do a good job clearing downstairs. It looks like at least we see 1 player across the way downstairs. Not sure who that is, but...
There's a drone right in front of him, which is great.
Plus, he's also crouch walking.
Yeah, which is always the greatest strategy.
It really is.
So Blast is droning Ravon in, which is great. Vito is not spotted. So you see the drone has kind of stopped right at the hallway island here, the connector between mudroom and hallway. And Vito might have some angles, maybe some bullet holes that he's prepared. No, he's just going to walk back, and enemy will spot him. Perfect timing here as Ravon sprays in. And he's being led to believe that he's safe. Unfortunately, he takes a lot of damage from Astronomy.
Janix hoping to catch someone. No one wants to give it away to him.
Yeah, it's greatly played. You have a shield as well that's supposedly... Oh.
The sad drop as it just falls.
Oh, and the other one caught by an idiot.
Wow. So I guess the first one would have been anyways, but still, that is not a great play there for Janix. There's that same angle you were talking about earlier being used up into Astronomy. It's like they're like, oh, hey, that's a good idea. Let's use that. Enemy, though, taken down secretly, at least making up for some of those flubbed EMPs.
So much damage taken, though, so maybe... So far, Penta is still at the helm and eliminate Vito. There's still renewals somewhere. I wonder if he's gonna... Yeah, there he is. There's no shield to protect him, but he has so many holes and everything that is...
He's got a friend as well.
He's got a friend in me. It's a great song, by the way. So he plays right by the blue or black box there. It's indestructible, pretty much. So he can find 1 kill pretty easily. Oh my, enemies on the floor. And the second one, Blast as well. I assume he stepped into a goo mine at some point. Ravon might go and pick it up. And Crips will be taken away, unfortunately. Impact grenade thrown, but it's a bit too late to finish off Blast. And Redgroove will have to watch the flank with the AUG 3, not always the greatest of weapons to have yourself using. He comes around the flank here. He might be able to catch one off guard, but relying on the Jaeger, no, unfortunate. That's all it takes. Hungry and Blast.
Wow.
Clean up Chaos, and round 8 goes to Penta.
I really thought bringing the Diffuser and losing it in Astronomy was going to cost them that round, but just enough kills around that left so little manpower. Redgroove's attempted peek as well. That was, yeah, timing just did not work out for him. And now we're at match point. As I said, they went to a worse bomb site. Like I said, though, Penta did flub it up a little bit in terms of, first off, the EMPs not being great, but then also dropping the Diffuser in Astronomy like that in a position where you're trapped. But also, at least we didn't see, I think it was Blaz, die to the impact nade that was thrown out too little too late. See how Dining goes, though. Watch this be the only site that they're able to win on defense. That would be pretty funny.
6-2 is a pretty massive lead here for Penta, which is not something you were expecting going into it.
Yeah.
I mean, they could win, but man, this is just, they are manhandling Chaos.
Well, as I said, it was likely to happen to get to this situation, and your likelihood of coming back from that, because technically, yeah, both sides won 2 attacks. The difference is, now it's match point. You win those 2 first, and yeah, Chaos not in a good position here. It's unfortunate to see them just struggling so much. I gotta wonder what it is about the team that's not working out so well, because it's not necessarily like obvious misplays or anything like that. A lot of the time, it's just they're not winning a lot of their gunfights. They're just not maybe seeming as coordinated. A lot of individual plays that are getting picked off by Penta. A lot of running into positions that Penta are holding. Things like that. Small mistakes that are really adding up for them. See if they can change that this round, though. Again, might be able to hold this. They are looking like they're trying to hold Trophy against the Master Bedroom take. It's a good idea because, as you pointed out before, Master Bedroom take is going to be essential to the beginning of this attack. So they're likely to push there. But they're actually not pushing there just yet.
Well, this is like the comparison of two different ways of attacking the site from bedroom, right?
Yeah.
You can bring the Thatcher and kind of breach in from there using the Habana or Thermite, which is unavailable for this game. But you can also bring the Maverick, deal with the reinforcements in that way. It's fairly flexible.
Yeah.
The Maverick takes more time, but it's only one operator that you need to dedicate to it. Here's the first entry. That's Renewal to find a blast. And enemies actually fairly low on HP. And the Nomad being taken away, this is great when it comes to removing that rotation control. But Ravon and Janix will find a kill each so fast. 3 now for Chaos. This got pretty fast, pretty quick.
Revan knowing there was someone above him, too, that could have just spit down on him if he knew at this point. He's got a C4, too, but Crip's taking down enemy. The trades back and forth as Janix gets one as well, but still man advantage to Penta, despite Janix being low health. Crip's also is. So this could really still go either way. At least one smoke canister's been used as well, but a lot of time left. So the attackers just need to get the right intel in this position. Hopefully there's some drones left. There we go. We see at least one from Hungry. The plays here. He knows there's the Ash around the corner now. Revan giving away his position with these pre-fires and still wins the fight.
Crips.
That's Ash doing Ash things.
You got to peek at some point, I know, but still unfortunate. Secretly left with 11 bullets in that magazine. Will have to get closer to Laundry and reload. He's pressured by 2 players and unsure of where they are. The Zofia doesn't have any more utility left, and a Nitro Cell unfortunately goes to the wind. Does not hit anything on the other side. The Diffuser picked up in the bike room as secretly still maneuvering around. If he can find the Ash, that would be huge. He's so close to her, and he has the reinforcement right behind him to cover. He can't spot the Zofia yet. She's behind the corner. The drones will come in, and you see them both droning around. At least Ravon in this case should be able to spot the Mozzie in the back, and there you go. He gets him, but it's Penta to win it out. Well done. The instant the information was collected, secretly knew, okay, I have to go for the fight. I have to use any advantage, because otherwise I am pretty much done.
Yeah.
And, well, it didn't matter. It's a 7-2 victory in the end. And that's it. Penta Sports take it. Something that not many people expected. I didn't, that's for sure. Maybe
my prediction was out there.
There's many things that relate to you, Devin, that are out there.
I'm wrong a lot, so I'm just trying to point out the one time I was right.
It's so weird that...
Don't even.
For once I am...
Don't. Stop there. Shut that down.
Such a great duo, right?
Yeah.
But here we go. Penta Sports with a victory means that they're now at 6th place. They are free from allegations for now.
For now. Could still definitely happen.
Who does Penta play later on? They play against Navi, then they play against Sisu, which is a possibility, and they play Vitality, and finally, the final play day, they play G2. So their fate might be tied to G2's qualification to Japan.
That would be interesting.
It's crazy.
Yeah, I mean, this is definitely not the way we expected things to go down towards the end here, but that was a great performance from Penta. Like I said, I think they've been doing better this second half. It's definitely seeming to work out a little bit more for them, but definitely more so than Chaos. That's the important thing today, is that Chaos still look like they need a lot of work to just shape themselves into a better team.
I don't know what happened, because this wasn't the Chaos that we were watching last week against Vitality.
No, but it's like overall the second half has not been kind to them. Like, they've had some decent lands, and their online play has really dropped off. This entire season really has not been great for them. I mean, they've had some performances that were like, wow, that was pretty good, but I think didn't they even have a good one against G2? That was weird.
Well,
I might have been thinking about last season, but...
Played at 8th, they played G2, but they lost 7-3.
Okay.
And then the last time they
I'm thinking about last season.
When did they play? Yeah, actually, no. It was this season.
Okay.
It was June 21st and play day number 2. Chaos played G2 and they beat them 7.
That's what I was thinking of, and I was like, since then, it's been like...
Yeah, because we saw G2 defeat Maus, now Sisu, 7-1 on the first play day on Cafe, and they're like, G2 are back, baby. But
yeah, no, but...
That wasn't.
Yeah.
That wasn't it for online play. Again, we really want to separate LAN and online as being two different things. They tie up at some point because you have to qualify, but still.
Guess who's up next? That was G2. So we'll see if they can keep it up. They've had a pretty good run, 2 for 2 in the second half so far. Looked pretty good, especially that 7-3 against Empire, but they definitely are going to have to continue to perform on that. Like they really need to stick to playing good if they want to see any chance in Japan.
All right, well, we have an interview, so let's put up Enemy and talk to him. Bonsoir, Enemy. How are you doing?
Hello, I'm fine. You?
Pretty good. Congratulations on your victory. So for quite a while,
again.
For quite a while, we've been waiting for it, and Penta secure those 3 points, and you guys are out of the relegation spot. So you played Chaos, but you pretty much dismantled them on Villa. Did you specifically prepare for them on this map? How was your mindset going into this matchup to really pick out the correct map to play against Chaos?
Okay, let's be honest, Miloš. Normally, we thinking we will play Clubhouse, and we practice Clubhouse since 2 weeks because we know Giants and the match versus Empire will not be on Clubhouse. So yeah, and I thought like Chaos will do like that. They will maybe try to go for Villa, and to be honest, we just practiced it 2 times this week, but we feeling good on it because our defense and attack, like we have some synergy and stuff, and then they finish the veto and choose a map, and they choose Villa, and we were like, okay guys, we have nothing to lose, like we are already 7, so let's play together, and it's exactly what happened, and we put a 7-2, and congratulations to my teammate, we are really happy. By the way, it's my birthday, so it's a really good gift. So yeah.
Hey, I mean, it was a well-deserved victory. In the beginning, you know, it got to 4-2 on the first half, and we're like, okay, for Villa, defense finishing their half at 4-2 is a normal thing, right? But then you went to your attack, and you were able to control Chaos's roam play so well. You talked about communication. How are you trying to drone out your opponents to really corner them in positions and go after those kills?
It's like we were really playing together, like really close. We are like ready to revenge if it's needed. Like Janix now, since the first half of the season, he's like playing really better and better. I'm really happy about him because he's making some calls. He's also making his own decision right now. He's feeling comfortable, and he mixed the team together with Angry and me. And yeah, and Blast also have some colossal time, Revan as well. Like if you can see the push from Revan from main stairs on the round we attacking Studi, he just destroyed with Ash 3 people. And I was like, okay, I will go just behind bar and plant then. Yes, 1 second left, but I don't care. And it works actually. And I'm really, like we played versus Empire, even if we choke like a run or we have some mistake during the run, and also Giants. I'm feeling right now we're getting better and better. I hope it will be continue because we're working a lot for that, and we also we really want to stay in Pro League because like it's really important for us, for our fan, and for our organization as well.
Very much understandable. Your performance in the French League as well is definitely impressive. So for the viewers that don't watch it, I personally highly recommend going over and watching it because there's quite a few of the teams that you're used to seeing in Pro League on there, and supporting them in their national leagues is definitely an important thing for the players and for their organizations. So there's that extra point.
Yeah, it's why we're practicing a little for the French League sometime. But we have crunch with us, so it's kinda strange sometime. But yeah, it's like more difficult for us, but it's fun.
But Crunch is definitely one of those rising stars of France. So at some point, we'll definitely be seeing him in competitive play sometime in CL and in Pro League. That said, Enemy, would you like to say anything out there to all the fans watching?
Yes, I would like to thank everybody and keep supporting us. Like we do all our best to make it happen, and we'll do all our best to Penta stay in Pro League because it's important, like I said, and thanks to Penta also to trust in us and do everything we like, give us everything we need for performing, and also buy the skin Twitch of Penta, of course.
It's I definitely bought the one from before and the one now, so yeah.
Thank you, Miloš.
It's very iconic to say the least. Well, Enemy, thank you very much for that. Congratulations on your victory against 7-2 on Villa versus Chaos. Pretty darn impressive. You're out of relegation spot for now, but we will see you in your next matchup on Friday, and you guys are playing against Navi, so good luck there.
Thank you, Miloš.
Thank you again, and bonne nuit. Bye-bye.
Bye. Bonne nuit.